Hey, good morning, man. How you doing? Um, yeah, man. The New Year's been good. Sick. You're sick, bro. How are you sick, man? Is it the weather? Oh dear. But yeah, no, the New Year's been good, man. Had a great time with the family. So yeah, and I just, looking to proceed, looking to kill the market. Definitely spent some time over the holidays. Just tweaking, adding some more stuff to my journal, reviewing it, evaluating it, everything. So it definitely gave me a great, first of all, it gave me great insight in terms of how the previous year's been. Um, and secondly, it definitely made me feel the progression, even um, from a year before. So yeah, man, progression is happiness. So this is the current state that I'm in, which is pretty cool. So yeah, I thought I'll just hop on to see how this week's kick us off. Again, today not really crazy, but tomorrow was not. That's all right, man. That's real good, bro. Um, yeah. So today not nothing crazy, but I just wanted to go over. I've got some setups that I'm gonna set some limits on and stuff like that. And I've also got I'm gonna set an alert to delete anything that hasn't been activated or to go to break even for this event and also for this event here as well. So really these 2 days. Yeah, these and that. Which is pretty cool because obviously we've seen the market has been quite slow for the past week and then obviously start of this week as well. Didn't really do much yesterday, just spent some more time tweaking. I've actually done some good back testing. So currently doing a full year back testing, which is pretty cool. Trading 2022. I would definitely say lack of routine would be one of them. Everything that I haven't followed through in terms of routine, everything that I haven't followed through in terms of routine, led to a mistake. And then second thing would be trade management. Yeah, those two would be the biggest mistake. Um, again, I don't really call them mistakes. I'll call them things that I can improve on, because they are truly things that I can improve on. I know I'm fully capable of doing them, so I just need to get it done. Have you done your wrap up yet? If so, what's yours? Okay, cool. Let's get it cracking. Okay, so yeah, um, there's two things I'm looking out for today. There's EU or well this week, EU and AU. Let's look at AU. Because yeah, my alert went off and I'm currently waiting for this. So let's do a top down on this was before we get into the point of interest. So okay, so this was our previous low and then we went ahead and we broke it here during COVID 2020, which is come to 3 years ago now. Crazy. This was that high, and then when we look at our market cycle inside, we've got our distro. All right, so we've got our accumulation, our reaccumulation, and then our distro and then our redistro, which is what's holding our intraday right now. So this redistro here. Um, then we go into this accumulation. Now, so something I'm gonna tweak for next year is becoming neutral. So starting to do more of hedging because I've seen that yes, structure is great, and yes, I do trade structure, but structure break just like order flow as well, because that structure most likely is an order flow for a higher structure leg. So that leads me to becoming more neutral, which means I would be doing a lot of buying and selling at the same time, right? So before, just because you're not a seller doesn't mean that you're a buyer. Yeah, the markets have been was trading so a lot of things, learning mistake made. Can't really say one because there was loads of them. Did you track them? So did you figure out what's your percentage? So just like how you would have done for your winnings. and then you would break down your percentage. That's what I did with my losses as well. So look at the reasons why you've lost, and then add a percentage to them. So if you've got a mic journal, you can actually tweak this. So that's what I did. I have added some more formulas to it and stuff, and then I've broken it down. So I know exactly, like, what's my winning, so I'll do more of that, and what's my biggest losing, so I'll do less than that, less of that. But yeah, it's cool. And then if this is your first time doing it, then I guess just, keep at it. And then word of advice, bro, is merge. Yeah, merge. So what I did was I looked at 2022 as 1 year, and then I merged it with my previous 2021, and then looked at this as a whole data. Okay, and then look at what was something that you're currently doing. Okay. Um, And yeah, I mean, trust me, the first one is always going to be things. So even my first one, I believe, was I was minus 16 percent for the whole year. That was a bunch of order flows. I can remember and stuff like that. But I wasn't really so focused on the what's it called, the percentage, because just like yourself, I'm assuming I wanted to get the data done. So it was order flows. Yes, it was some structured trades. Yes, it was some redistros, some continuation moves. Um, but then that's what allowed me to get the data. And just like how, just from this data now, so from 2021 data, I knew exactly what to do more of, and I knew exactly what to do less of. And that basically added up to a 7% gain for 2022, which I'm pretty good. I'm pretty happy with, because anything less, anything minus, obviously just you're going backwards. Uh, okay, man. No worries, bro. Appreciate. Um, okay, cool. Yeah, so let's do this. And then I guess if you want to talk about it some more, just hit me up, bro. Yeah, so that's where we are right now. Um, yeah, so that's our redistro. That's what's holding our intraday leg. This was also the cause of the higher time frame leg. So this is our higher time frame slingshot. Now, over the past 2021 to 2022, we've seen that price has come back into this slingshot. And again, if you go back and you back test just this area here, this is really, really, really good catch. There is a micro in there. There's the break. This is a slingshot. There's a micro in here. So if you miss this one, and if you miss this one, there's definitely opportunities to catch this one here. And again, if you miss that one, price give you another micro distro in here. That would definitely go ahead and backtest that even today, because today we've got no price action. Um, okay, cool. So when we look at that, this is our intraday holding this whole leg down. Um, and then we've got our bunch of lower time frames, and this is now our previous lower time frame. And when we look at this is where we are. So we have got, this is our recent leg. This is our cause of it. This is the distro. This is the redistro. Sorry, this is what's holding the structure. This is the cause of that lower time frame leg. And then this is where we're trading now. I thought I had this. Okay, there we go. For me, the way I'm seeing this is a type 2 right now. We don't really have a shakeout. We can very well get a shakeout today, no doubt, or today or tomorrow, especially with FOMC or the news. So I'm treating this as a, what's it called, as a type 2, because as I said, we can really much get that UTAD and then the break, for example, and this is something that we can catch maybe the Friday or maybe next week. Why don't you? Because I've only got type free drives. I'm not really seeing this as a secondary test because we haven't gone above it. So yeah, this is 1, 2, 3. There's no UTAD. But having said that, yeah, having said that, hold on, just put it. Cool. Then having said that, we did get that break, so I'm gonna go ahead and play that break up until we get this break. So if we get this break, then I'll wait for a micro distro in there, and then I would wait for this break. But at the moment, this is what's holding that order flow leg. So we'll play that. And this is where we are now. So when we're looking at this, we've got a form of accumulation coming up into it, all the way up to where we are now. So I'm gonna put an alert on these two price action here. This is going to be Asian high has gone, which is the most more preferred option. And this would be the order flow break, but also the Asian low gone. Okay, which is the I guess the second. It's either or, right? So I wouldn't mind something like this, which would be even better. Now, I am throwing a little risk on this, and the reason why I'm throwing a little bit of risk like that is because we're inside the slingshot of a lower time frame, and we have distributed quite nicely. My phone is going off. Okay, cool. So yeah, so we do have an active distro inside our lower time frame slingshot, and also we are bearish times three. So when I look at all of these facts, there's absolutely no reason why I shouldn't be throwing a risk, even if it's reduced risk, because for me, my better preferred entry would have been this. Because right now I would definitely go to reduce risk, break even, and then maybe even pay myself some risk. And then this will be the re-entry opportunity. And because this is a re-entry opportunity, I'm throwing myself a little risk on this. So I've got this sitting here and I'll see what it does. And then I'm gonna throw again order flow risk on this break here, whichever one happens. Okay. So that's what I'm eyeing for today. Let me know if you've got any, yeah, let me know if you've got any questions on that or how you're seeing it, bro. And I know this is something that's been talking about by Mike a lot as well, which is pretty cool. I'm not sure if you've seen AU yet, but let me know. I personally see four drives, but it changes nothing. Um, if it was if I had got into this, then it would change the only thing that it would change is the risk, which obviously is a big change because in it's either you could make 1% more or 1% less. But yeah, I mean, for me, it's very earlier on. And the other thing I don't like, I think, is let's dive into this, right? So I like the fact that we are inside FOMC. Okay. Um, there's that logo. I like the fact that we are inside FOMC here, right? But I don't like this Asian price action. No, not at all. Which makes it a bit tricky for stop losses because yes, we know this is what's holding it and this is where I've got to have my stop loss, but ideally I wanted to refine it. Which I've got so for the 50% I've got is the stop loss here. For the 80% I've got my stop loss here with spreads added. But in terms of entry, so we can see from this to that, this is where my 88, my 80% FOMC and my 80% of New York, which is this to that, lines up, which is pretty cool, but I don't like that Asian price action here. So that's the other thing that I don't like about it, and because of that, I've definitely gone to reduce risk. So yeah, cool. So that's pretty much my full volume candle in there as well, which is pretty good. Um, but yeah, I think that's that. It's just a matter of waiting. So we've got that booth from there now. Let's see what we can. Okay. See if you can take that low there. Yeah, if you can take that low, then I'll see if I can play something out of there. Definitely not this, because if we trade below, above that, sorry, I would imagine that we'll take this as well. And again, we're still very much earlier on in the week, so I'm not really too fast. And if I don't get no clean price action, like if price is coming down, I don't even mind this breaking, and then we come back up. I think that would be even better. Um, but yeah, no rush with this whatsoever. And again, if price does want to come up, I've got a limit here waiting. So yeah, I'm easy. I'm neutral with it. Cool. So that's AU. Um, let's go to EU because EU. Oh, son of a gun! They did it yesterday. EU is pretty cool as well. So let's do a top down on this and see where we are. So higher time frame. This is where we're sitting. So we got this low, and again, last year we broke in this low here. So this is our entire leg. We can see if we look at the market cycle, we've got our accumulation. Well, we've got our reaccumulation, but let's not worry about that. We've got our accumulation going into distro, and then we've gone into redistro in the form of accumulation and distribution. And there's the ice. And again, we break that, we break the low, and we come down. We've got a bunch of accumulations in there, but they haven't done anything just yet. Um, so yes, higher time frame will be maintained by here. Intraday will be maintained by here at the same token as the slingshot of the higher time frame. So we know this is where we've got to look at in terms of sellings. And other selling opportunity is here. So I'm not really, so as you can see, I don't really have a lower time frame because I'm not too fussed about the lower time frame. Because technically, this would have been the lower time frame continuation, but as you can see, we've traded through that. The only one thing I did look at was this distro that was the cause of the break here. So I thought, let me see what we can do when we come up into here. And then if we were to go inside it, mhm, I kind of like the distro that's inside it. I like the Thursday New York price action. And then for sure we can see the distro, right? No two ways about it. Mm. Okay, so when I yeah, super clean. When I refine this area, so I've got the 47 minute was where it was at. I couldn't really find the best full volume candle, but so I took it both. This is our New York price action, the start of it, 1 o'clock. At the same time, this is also the 50% of the whole move. So the shakeout, uh, so from this to this, okay, this was the best candle in terms of I found that had no wick, not much wick on the upside. So 50% here and then 80% here. And then again, would you know, we come back to that 50% right there. And we did this 15th of December. And again, even that, this is a quite clean distro, very clean, eh? I guess the only thing that would throw you out would be this here. But then again, we were still in phase B. So this would be that, and then we come up. Now, when we come up, if you do that to that, this is 80 and this is 50, and then we bloody come there yesterday, right down to that 80. So yeah, it was a pain in the ass. Um, we've seen at 41, which is pretty not bad at all. To go to break even and take partials. But now that we've done that, as you can see, I've got an alert here that would say the distro confirmed because Because that we was trading so close here yesterday, I thought maybe, I thought what we're getting now, we could have got this somewhere like that. So instead of the bearish price action, we could have got a bullish price action, taking all of these early sellers, and then come down. But anyways, so once we get this low, then we know in terms of our micro leg, we've got this distro, and then we've got this re-distro here that we could be playing out of, something like that. So yeah, I'm just gonna wait for that alert to get broken, and then we'll see our options. Um, yeah, but other than that, I mean, the play that we was looking at has already played out. So now we need to have some sort of cause and effect to it. And again, if that don't work, then we'll just have to come higher up, which is not a problem. We'll just have to wait it out. But yeah. Cool. So that's in terms of what's more of a pressing matter. Let's go UCAD. This is on my secondary list because I'm waiting for alerts to go off. And again, let's do it top down so we have an idea. So we all know this was the break. This is what's holding the the higher time frame. This is our extreme. We've had the slingshot, but we've traded through it, so that don't matter. And then from here we can see we've got an accumulation. We've got a bunch of reaccumulation. That's helping price come inside that I believe is the 50% of this entire leg. So this is what we're trading, and then inside there we've got a distro. So we're bearish times one and bullish times two. Yeah, there you go. So once everything here gets clapped, all my buying. So where am I buying from? I'm buying from here, I'm buying from here, and I'm buying from here. So once all of my first two buying opportunities gets clapped, then I'm coming right back down here to see if I can get into a buy. But first of all, where am I selling from as well? I am selling from, so now that we got this break, I am selling from here and I'm selling from here. Okay, because when we look at this of the order flow leg, okay, so that's taken. When we look at this order flow leg, this is what's maintaining it. Because the moment we trade above it, we're going to reaccumulation, and then this was the cause of that break, which is what's holding it. And this is where we're trading into now. So inside here, we actually do have a great distro. So we saw this. When was this? When was this? I think me and Thomas was actually doing a back testing on this. And yeah, last week or the week before that, I actually gave a 10 to 1 on this. And it was right here. So there was a micro in there. We can all see that. Okay. There's a micro distro in there. This comes right back into it. And then go down, and then we've actually got this as a re-entry opportunity as well. But you can look at that for yourself. So we've tapped. This is where we are with the slingshot of order flow leg. After tapping into our high time frame extreme leg, and then this is the selling pressure that we're getting now. So essentially, we've got this to that, and this is our slingshot, which I like. This is the Thursday price action. You can see try to sweep. The only thing I don't like is that we maintain this high, but that's cool because I'm playing out of here. And then I don't really have an MC because as I said, this, right? So we can see that this has come back and mitigated this. So this is done. Only thing that hasn't been mitigated is this and this, which is the two most thing that I worry about. So this is my point of interest number one, and then I'm not really looking at this because it's low probability. So yeah, I'm just waiting for price to get in there. Now, as I said, look at your cause and effect, right? So we've got this accumulation that punched in here. So this is still what's maintaining this. This is all just micro order flow. So again, I'm not in a rush to enter it just for the sake of entering. I need it to do something. So if I don't get anything clean, to at least bring price down here, I would wait for the break. Then I would play the um the re-entry opportunity. And there's always going to be an entry, as we've seen multiple times here. So that's that. So that's where I'm selling from here. And again, if price claps all of this and wants to come here, I'm definitely selling from here because this is that whole distro leg. Um, and then this one buying and this one buying. So yeah, just while I'm watching that. Um, and yeah, I think that's pretty much UTAD in a nutshell, really. I actually need to find some. I think I had some, but must have deleted it. I need to maybe tomorrow or the day after have a sit down and look at this in terms of see where I can throw a limit. It's a Thursday price action, which I like. You like it. I just have to see what do we have in there. I think I've got some work I need to see. But yeah, any questions on that? Let me know. Cool. Let's just have a look at. Session. He wants to keep on coming down. That's cool. I'm not gonna catch it. There's no point catching this. Mm, mm, mm. I believe the EU one went off as well, no? Oh no, it hasn't gone off yet. Okay, cool. So that's something I'm looking at for the week. Let's go AJ. Let's do top down on this as well. Okay, cool. So AJ is pretty good. Sorry, AJ's got a pretty good story to it as well. And let's see. So we have got. I mean, I can't tell you about previous price action, and that's cool. We've got our distro. Our distro punches in a new low. So this was holding our high time frame, and then we go into it again, new market cycle. We've got accumulation, going into reaccumulation, going into distro. It hasn't done anything because all this accumulation and reaccumulation did was help price come back into the extreme where we have distributed. The distribution has got a cause and effect to it, and then we moved on to our next market cycle, which is the redistro phase, and then this is where we are now. But just like how this leg did nothing, this leg also did bloody nothing because this distro and this redistro simply help price tapped into our accumulation. So we're being supply has been supplied by here and demand is being supplied by here. So we're essentially in between these two ranges. Um, which when we look at our intraday, this is why I can't really tell you what's my intraday. No, I need to know anyway. Reason why is because this is pro trend times two, which means oh I'm selling and then I'll be hedge buying. So I'm cool until we get a break. So whatever break and the break I would need is this or this. If we do that, then I'm intraday from here. Well, both intraday and higher time frame. If we manage to take this out, and if we take this out, then if this is the high, then we'll be intraday and high time frame from here as well. But let's look at our low time frame price action. When we come into it, so we have got okay. Oh, maybe the 3-day covers it all. Okay, cool. So we've got this low here and we've got that high here. So it's not really order flow, but in terms of this was demand taken and this was supply taken. So we know this has got some cause because this was the effect, and we know that this has got some cause and this has got some cause because this was the effect, right? So which is why they are there for hedging, okay? Because as I said, they did something, and what they did was they took out supply, this redistro here. And then when we look at current price action, we are in a form of distro as well. Yeah, there you go, I marked it up. And again, this one I am seeing this as a type two. So we've got free drive, one drive, two drive, free drive, and this was essentially our ice, and we broke that, and this is what we are now. So we've actually traded through that as well. So there's just this for us to come back up and trade. I believe I've got there's the 50 and the 80, which I think this week I could go ahead and set a limit, and this is where I'm looking at. I don't really have a specific price action in here. I'm just looking at this low to this high. There's the 50, there's the 80, just anything in there. Let's have a look. Look for sell. Okay. Yeah, I don't really have anything. And then once that gets clapped, then I'm looking at this leg here. Um, and yeah, so I'm willing to sell here. I'm willing to sell here, and I'm willing to buy here and buy all the way down here. Buy here. Yeah, so sell, sell, buy, buy. Yeah, that's it. Because again, when we look at our next market cycle, right, we've got this accumulation, this reaccumulation, distro. Now this distro can either come into an accumulation and then go up, so turning this whole thing into an accumulation, or um or accumulation going into distro, turn this whole thing into a redistro, and then we go and make it this new low. So that's it. That's all that you can do. So yeah, again, AJ just standing by for price to come back into POI. And that's it. G Chef. Okay. So when we look at G Chef, we've got this low to this low. So this is our higher time frame. This is our distro. This is our redistro that causes the break here. So this is our intraday leg. This is our high time frame leg, and this for me is my lower time frame leg. Um, when we come down, okay. So I don't think I've had anything too crazy on this because I'm still waiting. Yeah, so we're currently in between this and that, and we're playing in between. So either price comes down here, where I could look for an accumulation, low risk hedge, or price comes into here where I can look for a lower time frame risk sell. And that's it, essentially. So just standing by on that as well, which is why it's in my secondary list. GJ. So GJ we're pro trend times two. We've got this intraday here. And we made a new market cycle. So we've had our distro, we had our accumulation, and then that actually broke that high. And then so this is a little something to look at once we break this. But until then, this is what I'm looking at here. So we've got our accumulation, we've got our reaccumulation, which we've traded through now. So the SC is gone. So we'll be looking at our MC. And then we've got our distro and then our redistro. So if price comes back up here, we'll look for a sell. If price comes down here, we'll look for a buy. And that's it. Nothing else. And if that whole thing breaks, that's pretty cool because then we've actually got ourselves an active distro. And once that does, then whatever was the cause of it. So if this just keeps on falling, then this will be the cause. But if you actually create a little something, then I'll look at this as the lower time frame SC, and then this will be the lower time frame MC. And then again, I'll look to have a low sell here to go down, and then I'll look to have a buy here. That's GJ. NJ is slightly different with compared to what's it called, AJ. And the reason being is because we have, so AJ we've traded through that low, whereas NJ we haven't. So let's look at NJ. NJ kind of similar to AJ as well. So we punched in this low. This is what's maintaining our low higher time frame. Whilst doing so, we've created a new market cycle. So we've got our accumulation, reaccumulation, going into our distro. Again, didn't do anything. All it did was help price come into our extreme. From there, we can see the sellers coming in the form of distro, redistro, and again, this also didn't do anything because all this did was it help us tap into demand, which is this reaccumulation phase here. And when we did that, this was 2020. We've accumulated, we made a booth, and then we've reaccumulated and we made another booth by taking out this redistro supply here. Okay, and we did that where this is where we are now. So we are inside we are inside this distro here, but we're not quite the 50% or the 80% yet, which we could have some room to go. So where am I playing from is I'm playing from this leg. This is my lower time frame leg. This is my MC. We had just like AJ, we have traded through the reaccumulation. That's cool. MCs for me is more of a risk. And if that gets clapped, I'll be looking for the sell somewhere here. So my options are we look for a buy. That buy help us come into that 50 and that 80, where I'll be taking some partials off and I'll be looking for a sell hedge. Okay. So that's my option one. My option two is if we go below this, trade through the what's it called the trading range. Now, if price comes up, then I would look for the sell here and here in terms of my slingshot and my mitigation candle, and then I'll look to go down. If price doesn't come up straight away, this would still be my SC and this would still be my MC, but I'll look to have a buy here. Then we can look to have a sell here and a sell here. Okay. And if that doesn't work, then my sell still stands from there. So that's my second option. My third option is my sell still stands from here. And then ideally my best case scenario is for me to be in a sell first, so I can hedge this buy. And if that doesn't work, then I can come and hedge this buy with selling volume here. That's for me is the best scenario. But again, we just have to wait and see what happens and how it's going to happen. Right now, I've got a limit on this lower time frame extreme. Tell you where exactly. Oh, yes, in here. Hold on. So I see your marking all these scenarios for both buying and selling or using to choose which one. No, bro. Like, that's something that I think I've learned from my mistakes as well, which is just like something that I used to do before is I'll just purely focus on this leg here. And because so for me, the way that I trade, bro, is I'm a limit guy, and I would set my limit, but before where I would set a limit, for example, like so this is a perfect scenario, right? Because my structure is this. Um, and then obviously my plan would tell me to buy, which is what I'm focusing on doing. But because I'm so focusing on this leg, number one, not breaking, and number two, maintaining, that I then become biased to the market. But when I'm neutral, when I know, okay, cool, I'm a trader, so therefore, where am I selling? Where am I buying from? Because that's the only two options that you can do. You can't hold on to it. You can't, you know, that's all there is to do as a job. When you look at the definition of a trader, is he buys and he sells. So where am I buying and where am I selling from? And that for me derives purely on the price action. So the reason why I'm buying here is because this reaccumulation took out redistro. The reason why I'm buying here is because this accumulation took out redistro. We can see that here. And the reason why I'm selling here is because if you look at the prices coming in with the sellers, and that has tapped into our extreme, which is what's maintaining our entire leg right now. Just to give you some more of an example, like USD CAD, for example. Yeah. So the reason why I'm buying here is because we made a lower time frame break. So that's my slingshot, that's my MC. The reason why I'm selling here is because we have got a distro that tapped into the extreme and we have got the effect of it. Another example, AJ. So yeah, like this. Right, this it took out supply. Accumulation was just the cause of the leg. Slingshot, this was the reaccumulation that takes out the supply. So when price comes here, I can look for a buying hedge or here for a buying hedge. And that way I'm neutral, very neutral. And I've been doing this for a while and I just feel like no pressure at all. I don't need one side to work. If one side doesn't work, guess what? I'm turning around and I'm going on to the other side. I can't be loyal to one side, which is a mistake that I was actually doing for the first half of the year, I believe, of last year. So yeah, staying neutral for me was key. Good to see you. Yeah, no worries, man. Um, and unfortunately, that's gonna lead for me to take some order flow trades because this right here, for example, the USD CAD. Uh, yeah, there you go. Unfortunately, this is order flow, but I'm not afraid of order flow anymore. As long as it's got something behind it, as long as it tells me some sort of fact, some sort of story. Um, of course, I'm this. There's a when you trade order flow, I guess you got to look at it differently in a sense of this is also order flow and this is also order flow, and you got to choose which one works for you. You know. Um, yeah, and I'm happy with this. So yeah. Um, yeah, cool. I think we've been through all of them now. Yeah, so just waiting for these alerts to go off, which some of them might be going off soon. Um, and then that's it. And in terms of DXY, which we should have done first of all, by the way. Um, again, same thing on this as well, right? So let's look at this. We've got this higher time frame break. So this is what's been maintaining our higher time frame leg. We've then changed our market structure. We have accumulated. Accumulation broke this slingshot, and then we have reaccumulated, and this was holding that lower time frame. Accumulation, reaccumulation help price come into our extreme, which is why when if price was to come back up, we could look for a sell because for all we know,